hopefully it could just be a simple fix, but who knows? Nothing is simple on this channel. It's always has to be the most complicated or the oddball things that could go wrong with some things. So. Hello, welcome back to Dylan's Outdoor Garage. Today I got a very special project that I'm going to be working on today, and it's going to be our John Deere LA110 riding mower that I have. It's been sitting outside for a little over a year now. I haven't done anything with it since the tire, the tube on the inside popped. I've replaced the tube in it once before, and it took me almost half a day just to try to take it off because of how small that tire was. And so I didn't want to mess with it anymore, so I just left it and just parked it and didn't think about it for a little over a year. So now we're trying to get it back up and running. I'm going to be taking the tire down to the tire shop and trying to get a new tube in it, and then I'm going to be doing an oil change and replacing the fuel filter. So why don't you come with me and we'll get those supplies and get this thing back up and running. $7,035.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I also need a fuel filter, Wix number 33011. Can definitely say the prices of oil filters have gone up since I've done an oil change on this John Deere. Filters used to be like $18.99. Now they're $22.99 a filter. Just this little tiny little thing. 22 bucks. It's just insane how prices are going up everywhere. Fuel filter still the same price, like $7.49. So I prefer Wix over Primeline or MicroGuard. I've had better luck because the Wix one filters out more contaminants than the Primeline or MicroGuard has done for me in the past. So let's head back home and get these installed. I got the air compressor filled up. Time to put some air in the tires and see which tire is the one that needs the new tube. I can't remember which one it is. Once I fill them up with air, I'm going to try to push it into the garage and take the tire off and take it to the tire shop and get a new tube in it. This tire here, because the dust cap is off and it's pretty flat. All right, because the mower hasn't been ran, I'm not going to try to start it up and try to move it because it definitely needs an oil change. So I'm going to try to manually push it into the garage. The one way to do that is come back here in this John Deere. There's a lever that you pull, it disengages the transmission so that you can be able to move it. So we're gonna disengage the brake, raise the mower deck, and let's try to see if this will budge. Yep. Let's try to move it. Got in the garage. Time to lock the pin again. Put the parking brake on. I'm just gonna set this down for added security. And then next thing, yeah, definitely this tire. Pop that tire off and take it to the shop because I'm running out of time. Okay, I'm gonna jack this tire up so that I can be able to put this cross member on a block so that it's not putting its weight on this on the ground. So I'm gonna go grab a block and I'm gonna jack this up and we're gonna pop this tire off. All right. So it's time to take the little nut off. You can see here, there's a little retaining ring right here. I'm just going to take a big flathead screwdriver and just twist it off like that. See, that just came out pretty easy. Take that washer off, and then the tire just slides on out. All right, time to put the block underneath this and run over to the store. So I'm not gonna put all the weight on the shaft. I do have it just set on there just so it doesn't drop on the ground. But I do have the jack still secured underneath. So I'm just gonna leave that jack there as an added security so that it doesn't fall down. So let's take this tire, let's go on our way. So I'm finally back from the tire shop with the fixed tire. Unfortunately, the tire was so badly cracked that they wouldn't put a new tube in there. So they ended up, I had to put a new tire on it. And they also, for an additional $5, they added this fiber seal into the tire so that it kind of helps, it kind of mixtures it with fibers and rubber, so that it can prevent it from getting punctured as easily. So definitely going to try that out. I'm not going to do it. I'm thinking about doing it to all the other tires, but I won't know until I see how well this tire does. So I'm going to have to replace the other tire as well to match this one, because you can definitely see the tread. It's quite a bit different. Well, it's also the original tire on this one from when it was brand new from the factory, which was quite a few years ago. So I'm definitely gonna buy a new tire for it and do the same fiber seal on the tire, but I'm gonna test this tire out and see how well it's going to work with the fiber seal. So let's get this back together and get this mower up and running. I'm gonna time lapse the video of me putting the tire back on. It's the same steps as when I took the tire off the first time. But this time I'm adding an extra step by applying grease onto the axle shaft directly. Normally I would use my grease gun to put the grease through the zert fitting that's on the wheel, but unfortunately my grease gun isn't working. It's time to raise it down. New tires put on. Let's tackle the oil filter and the fuel filter. Let's drain the oil first because the drain plug is on one side and the oil filter is on the other. So let's drain the oil and I'll show you my little makeshift little funnel that I created for these guys. So I use an old 1 gallon washer fluid jug, and I just cut the top off, and it actually fits nicely where you can get it right underneath and be able to catch the oil without making a mess. And you can kind of funnel it into a jug. And usually, if I don't have enough, it doesn't get to the, like if the drain plug is too far away, what I'll do, trick is to take some tin foil and kind of get it up top of the drain. Clean up the mess a little bit. Jug. Right around the face. Like all automotive oil filters, when you do oil changes, you always want to, so you don't run the system dry. I like to put a little bit of oil in the filter so that it can get into those filter plates and have them as, so that the little fins on the filters are not dry. And then also you want to make sure that you put a little bit of, take a little bit of the oil excess and put it on the O-ring, so that when next time you do an oil change, it doesn't stick itself to the oil filter housing. So let's go put this on there and add the oil and get it started. All right, we're gonna take the filter that we pre-oiled. On there. And then just tighten it until it's nice and hand tight. And then I also like to do is right at the time I did the oil change, all right, now let's tackle the fuel filter. All right, the mower has a fresh oil change. It has a new fuel filter. The battery is over there being charged. So it'll be ready for installation when it's done. I do got fresh fuel, but because it got too late, and it is currently 2:20 in the morning, so I am not gonna start the mower at this early in the morning. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna lock it up for the night, and first thing in the morning I am going to push this out and put some fresh gas in there, put the new battery in, and fire this thing up. All right, let's jump to the next day. All right, it's the next day. Let's get this thing fired up. As you can see, kind of got a little frosty last night, but shouldn't stop us to get this John Deere fired up. Let's put the new battery in and top it up with fresh gas. Gas can. Get my little transfer pump. This transfer pump was a pretty cool thing. Makes it easy to pump gas. It came with a little trigger nozzle on it, so they could be able to pull like a pump, but the nozzle broke. So it does just as fine with this cap. So put this down here. Make sure. Yep, batteries are good. Put this. Turn it on. There we go. We're pumping. All right. Get the gas cap on. Let's get her pushed out. All right. Just priming up the fuel filter. So, I'm gonna have to figure what's going on with this guy now. That black smoke was not good, but now it's vapor locked because trying to start it up. So I'm gonna have to take the spark plug out and trying to let the gas kind of evaporate a little bit, and then I'll try to see what's going on. John Deere's putting out black smoke. I wasn't expecting that because it didn't do that when it sat last year, but it could be one of four things. One could just be it's getting too much, the carburetor's putting out too much fuel, so it could be that little fuel shutoff valve, or the feed screw is not set properly. But when I do turn the key on, I could feel it clicking, so I know the plunger is getting engaged on that float. So it could also be the float stuck in there. I might do just a carburetor clean on it and see if that's going to fix it. But it could be carbon buildup that's burning off, but it wouldn't cause it to sputter out and just to turn off or shut down. So it could just be that it's flooding itself with too much fuel. And there could be a clog on the intake manifold, that there's not enough air going into the intake, but I didn't see anything. I even tried running it without the air filter on, so it could be something internal, but I have to take it all apart. The fourth thing that it could be is the head gasket. The head gasket could be blown, causing it to pour fuel into the engine and causing it to flood itself out and cause it to that black smoke. I'm hoping that it's just a simple fix, but if I have to tear the engine down to do a head gasket, definitely it'll be a good video to show you guys. I did have a customer that did have a John Deere riding mower similar to this one that did have the same symptoms that this one's doing, and ending up finding out that it was after tearing it all down, it was a blown head gasket. I'm hoping that parts are going to be readily available if that's needed, but hopefully it could just be a simple fix, but who knows. Nothing is simple on this channel. It's always has to be the most complicated or the oddball things that could go wrong with some things. So I'm going to bring the John Deere in and see what's going on with that black smoke, and hopefully it's a simple fix, but we're going to do that in the next video. So stay tuned for part 2. If you want to turn on the bell notifications, so the second that I upload the video, you'll get notified the second that it's up. Thank you to all the new subscribers who have subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the support that you guys are giving me since I've been back. If you're new here to this channel, subscribe. If you do like the video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It does help me out to know what content that I'm putting out that you guys that you like and don't like, so that I can get ideas for future projects. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.